Does Santa actually live in the North Pole? Where does Santa come from?
Okay, I'm really glad you asked that question, Abigail. So, a lot of people think there's nothing wrong with Santa Claus. He seems like a really jolly guy and is just trying to give people presents, kids presents. Like, what could be wrong with that? But if you go back to where does Santa Claus come from, there's many cultures and countries, people that have influenced the Santa Claus we know today. But the very first being or person that influenced the Santa we know now is a Germanic pagan god called Odin. And if that sounds familiar, it's because, yes, same Odin as the Thor movies from the Marvel Universe. So Odin was a god. He was a god of war, and he was also a god of ecstasy. And the way that he's described, it's really hard to ignore the similarities between him and Santa Claus. He was considered like this really happy guy that could gladden people's spirit, but he was also a god of war. So he was also very frightening when he was at war. So a lot of people that study him and the origins of his myth or legend, whatever you want to call it, describe him as having a sinister glee, meaning yes, he was nice, but also kind of scary. Now, if you watch the Marvel movies, you know that he had one eye, and that's because Odin, according to the legend, sacrificed one eye so that he could see the whole world. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because, like Santa, who sees us when we're sleeping and knows when we're awake, that's kind of where they got that from. Another similarity between Odin and Santa is that Odin, was traveling through the sky in his 8-legged horse. And Santa, as some of you may know, has 8 reindeers and that he flies through the sky with. So they're trying to be clever, but they're not. So another thing is when Odin was celebrated. Odin was celebrated by his followers during the Yule time, which is in December. And we know that Santa comes out in December. So the legend is that Odin would come to Earth and fly over the Earth, looking for people that were bad, because he was also the overseer of the land of the dead, and he would take these bad people to, where people die. And the people that were fearful of him and worshipped him would celebrate Yule in their homes. They had all of these other customs that they would do, and they had to be inside while he was flying over the entire world. So, it's really clear once you look at it side by side that even though, yes, Odin eventually evolves into like Father Christmas and St. Nicholas and all these other figures that we know are in the history of who Santa Claus is today, that is where Santa Claus comes from. And we can't really ignore those things just because we want to have a good time and we think like it's just all jolly good fun. In Romans 1:22, it says that a lot of people claiming to be wise actually become fools and exchange the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. So sometimes I think we're like, no, but I'm not celebrating that. Like, that's not what I'm doing, right? And we think that we're so smart because, I know that and I'm not doing that, right? But really it says that in pretending that we're wise, we actually become fools. So, we should listen to the word of God and really take heed in what it's saying in Joshua 24:23, where it says that we should put away any foreign god that is amongst us and incline our hearts to the Lord, because we know that when we are close to him and we obey him, he's going to bless us. God bless you.